Hey guys, what is up? Jake here, and today we're switching it up again, but this time I think I really like the format that I'm going to start doing, which is if it's a numerical thumbnail, if you see numbers, that means I'm talking to you guys, I have something to share, something I want to talk about, post thoughts, reviews, vlog, maybe an amateur type vlog, you name it. If it's a numerical thumbnail, it's probably not as highly produced. The music probably isn't as epic. It's not as highly edited. These are quick. These are just my thoughts. It's almost my attempt at doing streaming, but not streaming quite yet. So just kind of talking to you guys, really low key, personal, amateur, my thoughts, not a lot of high production value. And then if you see thumbnails with actual thumbnails with titles, those are going to be my new project videos moving forward. And that starts today because in 1 hour, you will see my first little short film that I'm doing with this new format, which is called Get a Real Job. Super pumped about this video. I just cannot believe how stoked I am. I think it turned out really, really great. I had a ton of fun shooting it, a ton of fun editing it, and it was kind of that big video where I was like, holy cow, I really know what I want to do and I want to pursue it. But because, I've got background on this channel, I'm trying to do black box, I'm trying to do all these other pieces. We're not giving those up. That's what these videos are going to be for, because obviously if I'm going out and shooting these projects, there's going to be a lot of black box footage. There's going to be a lot of things to talk about, a lot of camera stuff to talk about, a lot of things to review. You name it, we're going to have to talk about it on this channel. And so that's what these videos are for. And in this case, the update is my first big short film that I'm really excited for from start to finish. Was one of my favorite videos to date. Comes out in 1 hour. So I'll put the link up. Let's see, which side is it going to be on my camera? I can never know which side it's going to be on. I guess if you guys are watching the video, it'd probably be this side. Probably wrong. But I will put the link. If that link isn't there, that means you're watching this video before, 1 hour before, and then just come back in an hour and check out the short film as it launches. But anyway, tons of fun with this video. Kevin is one of my really good friends. I met him at work. He mentored me, etc. So it was just a really cool way to actually create something that I thought was a little more interesting, a little higher produced, and also get to show him. I'm super excited for him to see this. But just to be kind of transparent with you guys, this is the second time I've flown with him. Maybe you've watched my other video in which we went out, got some black box type stuff, but I just want to do some afterthoughts on this shoot and kind of where it fits in with what's happening with the rest of the workflow. Obviously, if you guys know, I've shot a wedding, I've shot a music video. Neither of those have come out yet, and yet this one has. So for a quick update, music video is still in the works. I'm trying to get something that John will like. I'll have probably quite a bit of commentary on that one when that one comes out, but I'll save that for the launch of that video. And then as far as the wedding goes, Jordan and I have shared the footage. We've backed everything up. We mostly need to talk with Emily, the bride, and just figure out what's to come with that one. But enough on those videos. Let's talk about Get a Real Job, the video that's launching in 1 hour. So the big thing that I want to touch on with this video is kind of my new workflow, which is why I'm actually shooting on the G7 tonight, is because I wanted to talk about these two cameras. The GoPro Hero 6, not the 7. I bought the 6 before the 7 was announced. And my Panasonic G9 with the constant f2.8 12 to 35 lens. This thing is a game changer. I've switched over to using the strap again. No stabilizer, no Joby tripod. It's around my neck on the strap at all times, and then the GoPro is in my pocket. And I want to talk about the workflow with these two cameras, how incredibly pleased I was and how incredibly fluid this shooting experience was because of these two setups. So the GoPro obviously was amazing. Any moment that I was afraid I was going to miss, couldn't set this up in time, which most of the time was on my neck, so didn't have to do this whole bunch. Pull it out, get the shot, and sometimes shooting at 240 frames was really cool too. The GoPro can do that. This can only do 180, and I say only very lightly because 180 is insane, and I love the look of 180 frames on this, but it's kind of a fun little GoPro touch to get super slow-mo with the GoPro. But a lot of times it was just like, pull it out like on the hike, pull out, get that low, wide shot. Super easy to just capture real quick in 4K. I'm super pleased with how flat and good the image is that comes off of this, and then I'm able to grade and color grade it. Works super well. And then with this camera, this new setup is, it's making me bonkers. It's like inspired me to do these videos as like my next big thing, because the lens is a constant 2.8, which means it's really easy to get nice bokeh with. And then it's that 12 to 35. So you're going from a really good, nice wide shot that you could vlog with if you wanted to, all the way into a 70mm full frame equivalent, which compresses the image nicely, gets you even more bokeh, and looks even more professionally shot because it's not wide open on a GoPro. It's not nice and wide like a cell phone shot, which we see with a lot of stuff. And so this lens is fantastic, covers all of my ranges, and I didn't shoot a single shot on my prime lens when we went and made this video. Love this lens, and on top of it all, it's tack sharp, looks fantastic. Love this lens. And as if that wasn't enough, it's also optically stabilized, which I don't know if you guys have heard or seen any videos. The in-body image stabilization with the G9 is bonkers. You can shoot prime lenses with no stabilization, and it looks pretty good. Mix the optical stabilization with the in-body image stabilization of the G9. This camera, if you know what you're doing, stabilization basically is no longer a problem. Even with walking and talking, there's just tons of shots that I've gotten with this that aren't even in slow motion that have turned out incredibly stable. It's not quite gimbal-like, but if you do it right, you can almost make people wonder, how was that shot? And I'm just running around with this, around my neck, handheld, and I'm just blown away with some of the shots that I got. And again, I love actually shooting with the strap, but the reason I didn't is because I usually have my Joby tripod on the bottom to help stabilize my shots. Usually I had the tripod because I just kind of wanted to hold it better. But now that I'm kind of doing these more behind the camera videos that are projects, less vloggy, I don't have the microphone on top necessarily anymore, and I can just throw the strap on, and I've got this around my waist basically at all times, and I just pull it out and I can get shots. And this has been amazing. I used to hate the strap because I wanted the tripod on the bottom, I wanted the microphone on top, and the strap kind of got in the way of the mic, or you name it, etc. And now I'm like a complete convert, and I love that it's just most of the time right here around my neck, ready to go, and I can get some really cool shots. Now if I do have it in the backpack, I've got the GoPro in my pocket, pull that out, get that quick shot if it's something that I was gonna miss. But otherwise, we've got this guy, we set up the nice beautiful shots, and between the two of them we cover our bases. I can see projects in the future where I will be including the drone as well, but for right now, and with this video, I shot it all with these guys, and of course I didn't need the drone because we were in a plane for, heck's sake. And so this setup is my new setup. I'm running and gunning with it. It's made a huge difference. If you guys have debated getting this lens, as of right now, even though I love my prime lenses and they're still better for photos, my prime lenses shoot just crazy good photos. If I'm going out and taking pictures, I'm probably still going to swap this off for my prime lens because I have them. But for video, run and gun, maybe you're shooting something a little more actiony like I'm trying to find myself do more often, this lens, save up the money. If you have like a G7 and a kit lens, or if you have G9 and you have a cheaper lens, save up. It's expensive. Make it happen. Get this lens. Totally recommend it. It's beautifully sharp. It has all the features you want, and it can cover so many bases. It's so versatile. So we've talked about the gear, how I shot this, other impressions. As far as editing goes, this video was a ton of fun to edit. Jordan actually hooked me up with some of his plugins, how to do adjustment layers on Final Cut, and just some cool transitions. And I feel like it really, really made this edit fun. I got to be a little bit more creative with how I did that. And so that was a ton of fun. Maybe I'll do some more, like editing stuff in the future, but that's probably all I want to talk about on that. Adjustment layers, if you guys don't have that, I'm not exactly sure where he got it. I'll have to send him a text or call him or something and see where he got that adjustment layer. But basically in Final Cut, rather than going in and editing these little pieces inside the clip itself, you can put these adjustment layers on top, change the stuff on those layers, and they affect what's below it in Final Cut, and then you can drag those out over multiple clips if you've got really similar clips and want the same adjustment, or it's really clean to have those on top, not, know what you've edited, know what you haven't edited, and it totally sped up my workflow. I mean, that was just like a game changer. Thank you, Jordan, for sharing that with me, and I'll try and get you guys, that little adjustment layer plugin or whatever it's called. I think it's like a title, but I think it's a plugin. Anyway, so we've talked cameras, we've talked workflow. Gosh, I think that's all I've got for you today, except for the video coming out in 1 hour. So make sure to check that out. Check out my Instagram. It's just my name without a space in between it, Jake Felzine. But otherwise, it's getting late. Been editing this all day yesterday, trying to finish it up today. It's Monday, work day all day, coming home, trying to get this done for you guys and for myself because I love it so much. Perks of video. But anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Make sure to check out my little short film, Get a Real Job, in 1 hour when it drops. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right. Peace out. See you guys. Have a good one. Gosh, guys, I totally forgot like one of the things I most wanted to talk about in this video, which is I used an actual good microphone for this video, and I'm curious if you guys can tell. So like my Rode video mic is definitely a really good high quality microphone for mounting on a camera and talking into. It's directional, it picks that stuff up. But I have a cardioid condenser microphone from my days of doing like music and music production. I was really, really into filming like Blake singing and filming my acoustic guitar, recording Blake singing, recording my acoustic guitar, and actually producing all of the music. So I had like a little mini fast track mixer, and then I had my entire microphone set up right here. And so I'm curious what you guys think of the audio, because that's another reason that I was like incredibly stoked and really excited about, was how good I thought I could get the audio to sound in Final Cut just doing a voiceover with that microphone. It came out super crispy and super delicious, and I'm really excited for it, which is again another reason why I'm stoked to do this style of videos, almost a little bit of Sam Colder flair, where you narrate, you talk over, you get a nice microphone, and you kind of tell the story as it happens, which is way more up my alley, because as much as I like doing this unprofessional conversation with you guys, I hate vlogging in public, I hate vlogging in general. I'll probably still do them every once in a while, but to be honest with you guys, I hate it. I really, really hate it. It's fine, and I love the transparency, I love the communication with you guys. I love these videos because I feel like I'm talking to you, which is really cool, but when I'm out in public vlogging, it doesn't feel the same. This is my, my little nook of the world, get to share stuff with you guys, and I like that. With this microphone, I can still, shoot with my setup without the microphone on top, nice and lean and mean, good lens, maybe an ND filter on the end, which I probably should talk about as well. Okay, that's in a second. Running around like this, I can capture stuff, I can get the moments, and then do fun little narrations with a really good microphone after the fact. So that has been really, really cool and really exciting. Again, I don't remember what I spent on this microphone, because I probably bought it like maybe 5 something years ago, when I was really into music recording. So, kind of a fun little find. Wasn't sure if it was going to work because of how old it is and how old my little fast track mixer is. But I think it turned out great. Super stoked about that. So yeah, that was the other thing I forgot to tell you guys about. And then finally, the last thing I wanted to tell you guys about is this guy right here. So this was actually a complete bonus, and it came with the new lens I was telling you guys about. And this little puppy right here is by far the coolest thing that came in that pack. The variable ND filter, super easy, slides right on the end of that lens. Again, I've got ranges of focal length. Now I've got variable ND, in which I can adjust just how dark and how bright. Sunglasses, how much basically light is coming through to the lens. That's what this is. And this was, I mean, this is a game changer. This thing is amazing. It goes dark enough to where with f2.8, I mean, as you guys can see in this, like my face completely disappears because of how dark it is behind there. This gets dark enough and it stays light enough to where you can get a really, really nice looking image even in super bright conditions. I got a smudge on it. So anyway, this is the other thing that is adding a ton of value. If you guys are shooting with high aperture lenses, and you should because they look the best, they get the bokeh behind, they give you that cinematic look, definitely use an ND filter. And the reason for it again is because I can't, you know, my shutter speed to get that natural motion blur is twice what my frame rate is. And so I can't, you know, stop that down to keep this nice smooth buttery motion going on with 24 frames in that in order to get that cinematic look. And so this invaluable tool, definitely pick up one of those if you're into trying to keep things a little bit more cinematic. Huge game changer right there. Okay, I came back. Ah, man, I'm loving how absolutely terrible the focus is with the G7. I'm like looking over at myself in the screen. It's complete garbage, but I wanted to film with that today to kind of show you guys some of the stuff I was using. I'll do these in the future on the G9, so apologies for the bad focus. But anyway, I think that's it. I think I covered all my bases. I got in the moment and then like forgot two of the most important things that were like thoughts after the fact from shooting this video. But yeah, I think let's cut it off there. If there's something else, we'll make another video on it. I mean, most of the stuff I talked about today, I want to make more videos on anyway, just because I think that they are adding a ton of value, super, super cool, super, super interesting, and I want to talk about them more. But anyway, double peace out. I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm cutting it off, and yeah, see you in the next one. Okay, bye.